Good afternoon and welcome to Chapter 15. We're going to look at homeowners and the mortgages that they might purchase if you're owning a home. Obviously there's going to be terms this chapter. Look at amortization table, closing costs, point, escrows, mortgages, so you'll need to know the terms. We're going to just jump in. It's a relatively quick chapter, but it's really important because if you do it right, you can save thousands of dollars. Like literally, you can save $70,000 by locking in the correct interest rate or paying an extra payment. So this is important, and if you own a home, you want to pay attention. So in the book, it says in Figure 15-1, there is an explanation of all the different types of mortgages that are available. But we're going to focus on basically how do you calculate your monthly payment by a simple route and then using the table in the book. So the book says first you take your mortgage. So if I bought a home for $200,000, then I divide it by $1,000, or I divide it by 1,000. Then I'm going to look up my rate and term in table 15.1, and then I multiply those two together. So they've already done the math for us. So I'm going to actually do the practice problem, extra practice problem 15-1A, and it says that we're actually going to purchase a $180,000 home with 30% down, 7% interest, and a 30-year mortgage. So what I would do is first I need to figure out how much should I take out for my mortgage. So 30% down of $180,000 is $54,000. So how much was my loan? So $126,000 is what my loan was. So I divide that by 1,000, and it gets me 126. Well, then I'm going to look up 7% interest, term, 30 years, in table 15.1. So I've got the book right here. I'll look it up real quick. And where they meet, 30 and 7%, 6.66. So I've got 6.66 is my lookup and rate. So I multiply these together. So that gets $839.16 is going to be my monthly payment. Well, then it asks me, what would happen if my interest rate changes? And actually, how much interest do I pay? Well, how do you figure out that is cost of interest is all my monthly payments minus the amount of the mortgage. So let's times this, 12 months in a year, 30 years, so 360 payments equals what? Equals $2,000, $97.60. So $302.97. So then it says, what happens if they actually got 5%? Well, we'll have to go back and change this rate. So this is at a 7% rate. So what happens if we get it at 5%? Still the 126, same mortgage. It's just going to be a different factor. So I'll look it up in the book. 5% is actually 5.37. And what does that equal? Well, let's figure it out. 676.62 times 360 is $243,583.20. So this is what we pay if we had 7%, and this is what we'll pay if we have 5%. Well, how much did the interest cost us? Well, let's subtract 126 from each of these. So if I subtract 126,000, 126,000, it gets me, so this top one I'm going to write right here, 176,097.60, whereas this one's going to be 117,583.20. So the difference between these two is $58,514.40. So if we would have locked in an interest rate at 5% compared to 7%, we would save $58,000 over the whole lifetime of the loan. So that's why it's important to pay attention to what kind of loan you have, what the interest rate is, as well as your term. So, and let's kind of go into why did so much interest accumulate. You know, $176,000, that's $50,000 more than what we actually got the loan for. So let's figure out why. Well, that's what we're going to look at the amortization schedule for, is basically a game plan of your payments if you stay at what they indicate. So for 30 years. I would recommend if you actually are getting a loan, do one that doesn't penalize you to pay it off early. And if you make an extra payment each year, you'll actually cut off about 7 years of a 30-year loan. So if you make 13 payments in the whole year, you'll save about 7 years. And they recommend doing bi-weekly, so twice a month, and that'll actually save you more interest. And we'll figure out why. So first we have to calculate our monthly interest. And this we're going to look at practice problem, extra practice problem 15.2a. Page 371, and it says we're taking out a $70,000 loan at 7% interest for 30 years. So first we have to figure out what is our interest and what is our monthly payment. So well, we know how to do monthly payment from up here. So if we've got 70,000 divided by, is that 100, right, or 1,000? So that leaves us with 70, and we got to look up our rate, which is 7 and 30. 7 and 30 is 66, so 70 times 6.66. So our monthly payment is going to be $466.20. Is going to be our monthly payment. Okay, what's our interest going to be? Well, interest, if we remember previously, principal times rate times time. And so, once I type that into the calculator, we get $408.33. So if I pay $466.20, I have to pay off the interest first. So how much actually goes to principal reduction? Well, when I subtract that, it's only $57.87. So our entire balance only reduces by $57 because there's so much interest. So that's why it's important. If you make an additional $50, well, that's almost more than what's being reduced already. So that's why they're saying pay another $20 down if you can, because it really does add up because of interest growing so much. So $57.80 minus 70,000 gets us $69,942.13. So that's going to be our new principal beginning balance. Our interest on that one, and don't forget, so principal of now $69,942.13 times my rate of 0.07 times my time, and these are monthly, so it's 1 over 12. So don't forget that aspect. $69,942.13. So now the interest is only $407.99.5. So what's my principal reduced? Well, I subtracted from my payment $58.20. So we gained 50 cents more on our reduction. So now after that we have $69,883.93. So this will continue on for 30 years or 360 payments. And that's why interest can accumulate so fast and so much, because we're barely knocking anything down each time. So that's why it's important, if you can, to make that extra payment or to get the low interest rates on your loans. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. Thanks. Take care.